next up is Rochelle Staab, the winner of the contest for women for their outfit.
But I'm wearing my sweater because I don't want to distract you.
You are a rock and roll guy.
Thank you. I'm so excited because I'm reading from the opening of my new novel, BRUJA BROUHAHA, which is the second in my series, and it was just released on Tuesday, and having the most warm and fuzzy welcome. So the series is written from the point of view of Liz Cooper, who is a Los Angeles psychologist. And I haven't read this out loud before, so I'm going to... Chapter 1. Nick Garfield, my boyfriend and college professor of mainstream, arcane, and bizarre forms of religion, took 4 chunks of unshelled coconut from the Santeria altar and set them in my hand. Your turn to ask a question, Liz. Obi cannot lie. Nick's interest in the supernatural was academic. My interest in the supernatural was 0. But I didn't want to insult our elderly hosts, Paco and Lucia Rojas, both devout Santeria practitioners. And after 6 months of dating him, Nick's playful brown eyes could get me to do pretty much anything. So what harm could a little Saturday night fortune-telling game be among good friends? We were gathered for a triple celebration dinner in the Rojas' apartment above their Botanica near MacArthur Park. Celebration number 1, Paco and Lucia's 60th wedding anniversary. Their living room, aged with use and seasoned by 6 decades of marriage, felt as comfortable as a grandmother's hug. An old television Paco called his front seat for Dodger games sat on a metal cart in the corner behind 2 rows of armchairs. The scent from fresh gardenias on the mahogany dining table circled around worn furniture, over the candlelit altar in front of the window, and across to the desk where a yellowing photo of slender, handsome Paco in a black suit with ravishing young Lucia in a tight-waist satin wedding dress was prominently displayed. The 2 other guests, the mid-60s, vibrant and brilliant Dr. Carmen Perez and her business partner, white-haired Dr. Victor Morales, had performed the coconut shell ritual with Nick while I prepped dinner with Lucia in the kitchen. Celebration number 2. Lucia taught non-domestic me how to make homemade tamales. We were gathered to feast on the results. I juggled the coconut between my palms. Some background on this Obi person, Nick, just so I know what to ask him? Well, it was like I handed Nick a microphone. He squared his shoulders, pulled at the cuffs of his tweed sport coat, and said, Obi is the mouthpiece of the Orishas who manifest Oludumare, the omniscient high being in Santeria and other Yoruba religions. The shells are the voice Obi employs to foretell the future, a divination tool. He lost me after the second O deity, but I got the gist. I said, okay, well, let's see how tactful Obi is. Will my first lesson at cooking tamales be a culinary success? I tossed the coconut onto the white lace coverlid on the altar. The 4 shells fell brown skin up. Carmen arched her brow. Nick shifted his stance. Victor pressed his lips together, looking as clueless as I felt. Paco swept up the coconut with a rough hand and dropped the pieces into the bowl of water on the altar. You didn't teach Liz the incantation, he said. The answer means nothing. Obi is teasing her. Well, before I could ask why Obi teased me, Petite Lucia scurried out of the kitchen and set a salad bowl the size of a bicycle tire on the dining table. Liz, bring out your tamales. Paco, open the wine. Everyone else, sit down. It's time to eat. I pulled Nick into the kitchen with me and took a bright yellow platter from the cupboard. As I stacked tamales onto the plate, I said, okay, Professor, explain. What did the 4 brown sides up mean? And Nick said, nothing. Nothing. Not relevant. You didn't ask the right question. Liar. You didn't say anything about right or wrong questions. He put his arm around my shoulder. Sorry. There are only 4 answers, and none of them have to do with food. You egged me on to ask a question. Now I want to know the answer. Okay, he said. You rolled Oyakun. Death. I laughed. Death? For dinner? My cooking isn't that